And now let us go on to Netflix and Friends, and we're going to talk about Kill Boksoon. So,
Kill
Sean, tell us
Boksoon.
about Kill Boksoon.
Okay, Kill Boksoon. So this is a Korean movie, and it starts off like with a good action sequence, which so you know that there's Boksoon. She works for she's an assassin basically. She works for an assassin agency, and she's got 100% record. She's know her job. She's every job's been completed really well. Um, So, and you know she's quite capable from the opening fight sequence. The thing is, she's got a teenage daughter who's having some issues, and of course, she can't say to her teenage daughter, "Oh, you know, I'm an assassin," you know, because she asks her, "Oh, what do you do, man? You never communicate with me. You never." Typical relationships between a mother and a teenage daughter. Obviously, the teenage daughter's got some issues, relationship issues, and all that. Um, but she's like the top assassin for this assassination agency. Um, and you know everybody loves her. She's really good. And then one day she decides she's on this mission with someone else, and she decides not to complete it. So the agency's not particularly happy about this, obviously. So you've got a little bit of a John Wick situation.
That's what I was thinking. John Wick.
So
Okay,
yeah,
let me
exactly.
let me check the date on this film. Was this made before Keanu Reeves grew his hair long and grew a beard and started killing people?
um, so yeah, so now you've got this Kill Bill situation where you know the agency is not particularly happy with her.
Hmm.
And I mean, there's one scene early on in the film where she's got like all these. They're her mates. You know, they're sort of in a bar and they're all talking and say, oh yeah, you know this, that, and the other. And they're all sorts of shapes and sizes, and young and old, and silly and not so silly. And of course, when it comes through, you know, all Kill Boksoon, they all like turn on her. You know, they're all trying to. All her mates are all trying to get anyway.
Yeah. All
So
trying to get the bounty.
yeah, and then you've got the very head. You never, well, you do at the end, but you never know the head. Sort of the head of this organization. He had some sort of relationship when she was really young, when she first sort of joined he saw a lot of
The
potential in
agency.
her because of certain issues, something that happened, and he was there. She's just, and he's not really sure whether the daughter is his or not. So he's got this in his mind
Ah,
that so he's thinking, you know, he's a bit conflicted. So he sort of half tries to protect her in a sort of way. So a bit like you know in the first John Wick, you've got what's his name with
McShane.
the with pardon?
Ian McShane.
Yeah, not Ian McShane. You've also got what's his name? The Lighthouse Man. Because remember in the he sort of
William Defoe.
William Defoe. Yeah, William Defoe's the thing, isn't he? And he
Yeah.
because he's going to get he sort of shoots the. So yeah, so you've got that sort of thing. So yeah, basically this is a total action flick with really stylized like fighting.
Yeah.
There's a particularly good scene in a building where they sort of pan up and go across, and yeah, I mean, but that's pretty much what it is. Really, is a Korean John Wick with a female author with a female author,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
female protagonist with a daughter that's you know like a side issue. But
So
that's
John Wick
quite
has
interesting.
John Wick has a dog. This woman has a daughter.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. So it's along the sort of lines of I don't know. Although she was sort of nice, though she was sort of nice, I didn't really relate to her in any way. I didn't think I wasn't like rooting for her
Yeah.
in any particular way. I wasn't rooting for Boksoon. You know, like sometimes, like with some characters, when you see a movie, you actually root for them and say, "Oh yeah, come on, well done, well done."
Yeah.
It didn't particularly. There's a fair amount of bloodletting, which you normally get with Korean movies. You know, when the action movies.
Well, yeah. I'll tell you something about the thing is because you know when John Wick was released and everybody was raving about the action and stuff.
Yeah,
It was a bit like when The Matrix was released, and I thought that John Wick owes a hell of a lot, to Asian cinema, specifically Korean cinema, because
Korean cinema. Yeah,
Korean action cinema is mental.
it
It
is.
is absolutely mental. It's kind of like, when Jackie Chan used to do all of his stunts because there was no health and safety in Hong Kong back in the days. It's like the Koreans have taken up that mantle. And there's a film. Have you ever seen the film called? Oh no, Sean, I know you have seen the film The Villainess.
Yes,
The Villainess, and The Villainess starts off with this
Villainess,
like
yes.
yeah, it starts off with this 5 minute,
It's a few years ago. Yeah.
yeah, five
Yes.
minute first person action shot, which is just mental. I mean, if you watch no other bits of the film, watch the first 5 minutes of The Villainess, because I remember telling my brother about that, and my brother watching it was like, "Oh my god, what is this nonsense?" Because that it's just, and even there's even a bit in John Wick Chapter 2 when there are motorbikes underneath a bypass that is pretty much, let's call it a homage instead of rip-off.
Homage, yeah.
It's a homage to The Villainess. So we don't. So when you hear Korean action movie, you expect that things are going to be mental.
You do.
You expect that. So with that, with Kill Boksoon, we know we're gonna get the good action. How many stars would you give this?
Okay, this is. It wasn't really particularly. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like spectacular. It wasn't. So this would get a 3-star. Give this a 3-star.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was watchable, it was enjoyable, but it wasn't anything new.
Yeah,
a bit
cool.
more blood, but
I think I'll still probably watch this before I watch John Wick Chapter 4.
yeah.
Because I was thinking about it the other day. Somebody was asking me about John Wick Chapter 4 last night, and I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, man, I was really, really annoyed with the third film. I still really don't want to watch John Wick Chapter 4, even though I am convinced that I will watch this thing maybe in a year's time when it comes onto some streaming platform, and I'll be like, oh my god, everybody was right, I should have seen this in the cinema. And I am convinced that that's what's going to happen, but I still cannot bring myself to watch that film right now because the third film really annoyed me.